acquittance, right? Something like that. Sure. So that's basically where we left off. Yeah. The party having found their way through a bunch of different things. And found their way back together as a group after splitting up in the city of Nodal Puck. Managed to find Gundar in a prison cell being guarded by several dozen large warriors. But you managed to talk your way out because there just happened to be a lot of interest in what was going on with the King in Yellow and the cult and possible freeing of the Chain of Oblivion and all kinds of stuff. And they knew something was going on down at the Iron Authority. Or has some ties to the Iron Authority. But having been charged with this, I don't know if it's a quest, but this mission, which is to find internal support within the Iron Authority to try to gain just an inside toehold so that if they do send an army to free, well, to stop what might be going on, that there could be troops inside possibly loyal. You've been told that you have a couple days to prepare and that you've been provided transportation to at least near the city, as well as, you know, a little bit of training on what to do, things like that. So on the first day, y'all did some obviously some personal training and leveled up. Level 13. Roland bought some basic grenades.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's
I
right.
like grenades.
I think
Yeah,
you
I
wrote
did.
those down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gunnar made sure that his armor was going to be
Yeah, that's right.
appropriate for the
Yeah.
for
I had
the
to
Iron
make new
Authority.
armor.
Yeah. Or at least they were going to take your existing plate armor and modify it as such. I think was what happened. And yeah, the rest of you were just kind of doing your thing. What, if anything, on the second day, let's say on the third day is the day you leave. The first day has been spoken for. Is there anything anybody else wants to do on the second day here in this city? This odd kind of jungle, misty city.
Oh, I do need to pick up more ammunition for Lucretia.
It's easy enough to do.
Okay.
I mean, guns aren't, and gunpowder aren't the most common things, but you
Yeah.
already found somebody who could do a grenade.
Yeah.
And they sell. It's like that. So if you mark down another 3 gold, I think.
Okay.
Anything else for anybody else?
I think Chomsky wanted to find like any kind of library, or basically I want to study at least one spell to add to my spell book. I figure if we're here for a few days and it takes like 2 hours of study per spell level, I might be able to get like a 4th or 5th level spell in my book.
Right. You can do that. Is there, I mean, in theory, what spell are you looking to do?
Obviously, look through here, and I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'll just be looking.
You
here.
look through. Alright, so we have ammunition, we have fun explodey things, we have good new armor. What Lysander doing during all this? Playing some music, write some tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not doing anything?
Was it mosquito?
I think so. I don't know. It was something. It's dead now.
Alright.
What's problem?
Not doing anything during this day? Doesn't have to be. We can move on.
Nope.
We don't have to do anything this day. Okay. In your time here, you get to know the city a little bit. Things here seem nice enough. However, all of you, all 5 of you, feeling a little bit. It's this odd feeling as if there's this apprehension, like something about to come down on you or something's about to happen. Sadie! No! Shh!
This is a good one.
Sadie! Yeah, you. Somebody must be getting at least near our porch. Or she knows it's Sunday, and that there's people come in, so she'll bark a lot at anybody that's even walking the sidewalk. Anyway. Okay. Alright.
I'm used to it.
It's got
Puppy being a puppy.
There are all these attack birds all over downtown Macon. I thought I knew where everyone was. And so Bella and I are walking one day. She'd had a lot of surgery in the beginning of June, and we're just now, her she's getting better, and we're just now, but she's still an old dog. And I'm walking long enough, and I felt a whack in the bottom of my back. And I'd been attacked by a bird. So I get attacked. And so me and Bella, you thought she was 2. I screamed. And she's like jumping up and trying to grab the bird out of the air. And I'm yelling, I shoot you, bird!
Oh, she's trying to protect you.
Bella
Or get
was.
vengeance.
And the birds, I thought I knew every one because there are nests that they're protecting.
Yeah.
But this is a new one. In front of Lawrence Mayor, there's an attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where first?
Yeah.
Sadie, I said no.
No.
I do what I want.
Okay. So, as you're all waiting here during the day, getting to know the city a little bit, it seems a little bit. It's nice enough, but it seems like something is oppressive or like something's about to come down. The second day, it definitely starts to rain quite a bit. Not coming down in sheets, but just fairly steady, even in the midst of the normal sky of the city, which you hardly ever see the actual sky. It just becomes wetter and wetter and more humid, which you didn't think possible here in the middle of the River Mist jungle. Start to worry, like, what's this going to be like? I mean, Gundar's, you're worrying because you having been recently in Sar, great at all. You did not feel welcome, even in the court of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Where at most other places in the city, there's a few places you know that you could find friends still. Former retired military, some people that are still true to the cause, things like that. Prom, you're just wondering, what did you get yourself into? Every once in a while looking over at your sword, because you've been told now that it might be one of the locks to the chains of oblivion, which is worrisome. You didn't mean to get into this kind of thing. You were just out having a nice adventure 6 months ago with your friend Chomp, and suddenly you get thrown into all this. Chomp, you're, let's be honest, mostly just trying to figure out what new spells you can use. But still, something in the back of your head. It's like, something I want to get into. As the days go on, even rolling nightly meditation,
Yeah.
just kind of. At the end of the second day, as you all bed down in the quarters that have been provided for you, which is basically a nicer barracks near the central part of the city that had been used by some low-level officers previously in the local army here. It's a small barracks building, and it's a couple rooms off of it. You are all going to bed down for the night, all falling asleep or down to meditate. And could I have the yes. Gundar, Prom, and Chump. Could you each make a wisdom saving throw?
I remember y'all get +3.
They are near you. It's not a computer building, so.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
So do we get the
+3.
aura bonus?
Yes, you get the aura bonus. The great thing about having a paladin around.
You're welcome. 24 for me.
Would this be against magic?
It would be, yes. So you get advantage.
26.
26, okay. 11. Good to know.
Did you get saving throws against spells cast by creatures within 5 feet of you?
That is not.
Okay.
But with an 11. Okay. That was just for something for me to know. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. You all have odd dreams, visions, meditations, whatever you want to call them, over the course of the night. Roland, your nightly meditation, while disturbed the night before, almost seems hijacked tonight. Just you're focusing in, eyes kind of heavily lidded, just slits, really, with just a little bit of nighttime light coming in from off the street. Just in your head, finding yourself imagining being chased through a darkened city. Over rooftops. The sound of the actual rain from the city you're actually in kind of weaves its way into this vision. Weaving through alleyways, never catching a glimpse, but hearing occasionally of just footsteps behind you, and you're making quick turns. You look down and you have your dagger out in one hand. Just kind of breathing heavily, thinking about looking behind you. No, in your head, you've never dreamed of being an elf, but it's as close maybe as you've come to something like it. It's like a vision almost. You know that in your head, you know the person that's chasing you, but you just can't face to mind or the name to find. Cutting through another alleyway, you find yourself in a dead end, and coming up to the wall, you put one hand out, and as you turn to look, you realize you recognize the face, and then your eyes open up, and you're in the barracks. Roll an intelligence check.
A natural 20.
For a total of
Let's see, what was this?
intelligence. Yeah, so just your
Thank
intelligence
God it wasn't
modifier.
wisdom. Oh, there we go. Can't read right. Hey, that. Sorry, my eyes just do not want to see what that is. Oh, wow, 26. I didn't use that
26.
intelligence.
You, the first thing you think upon your eyes just flashing open is someone's trying to kill me. And you know, like, in your heart, that it is not just a passing thought. Somebody is out to kill you. Second thing you realize is that you recognize the face of the person. It takes another moment of concentration. Or a name comes to you.
Promise is bad.
Yeah.
No, but that would be something, huh? I just realized that. I totally forgot it. There. Is the face of your childhood friend.
The girl, the woman.
Yes, and I'm trying to
Oh, it
remember.
starts with a K, doesn't it?
Kaylin. That's
Yeah.
it. Yes, thank you. Good remember.
Good job. I'm impressed.
You don't know
Don't
necessarily. You can't like. You're not sure why you're associating her face with somebody that's out to kill you.
Can I go back into meditation and see if I can? Cause you know how like when you dream, you can pick up your nightmares again.
You can try.
All right, I'm gonna try that.
I'm not sure what. Oh, gosh.
What is it? I said that before.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all don't go back to sleep and pick up.
Make
nightmares
another-
right
no,
where you
make
left
another-
off?
Oh no, yes, but
Yeah,
I mean, as a
Yeah, I
DM,
mean,
maybe just
going back into a like a meditation, vision, dream kind of thing. Make another intelligence check. Just your intelligence modifier plus your d20.
Another D20.
Another-
6.
All right, and so what are you trying to figure out?
I want to go back into
Going back
meditation
into
and
it?
see if I can pick up the dream that thing exactly where I left off.
Closing your eyes again. You try to deep breaths, holding. Now, just keep box breathing, trying to get back into it, trying to focus. Can't get back to it. Whatever it was, you're able to get back into a meditative state, but it's fairly quickly broken by your own frustrations that you can't get back to whatever that was.
Yeah. Okay.
Second coming out here. Gunda. You often have dreams, both of the actual act and of kind of fantasies related to the act of leaving your old god for your current god. The dream you have on this night isn't actually how it happened, but it's a dream you've had before, that kind of dark fantasy of how it might have gone. Find yourself cast down on a stone floor wearing only these torn rags of clothes, blood kind of splattered across the side of your face. You can almost feel bruises forming. Two paladins are to either side of you, the head cleric of Tyr in front. They say, you are accused of breaking your oaths. Ask you how you respond. How would you respond in this dream? Sorry, Dick.
I wasn't saying nothing. I'm trying to think because that's a good question.
Yeah, how would you respond to a cleric of Tyr saying you've broken your oaths after you've been cast down on the floor of the stones of the temple?
I guess I don't have a verbal response. I'm just gonna spit blood at the feet of the cleric.
Yeah. The cleric looks at you and kind of sneers in disgust, takes a foot off, and nods to the paladin who reaches down with a dagger and just slits your throat.
Oh.
You fall all the way down to the ground, bleeding on a stone, and you notice a shadow suddenly seems to extend over you, slowly growing in size and dimming the light in the entire chamber. And smile a little bit, knowing what's about to happen, as a darkened chain whips out of the darkness, taking the heads off of all three acolytes of Tyr. And you hear the voice of your god in your head, basically saying, "Well done." And you thumbs up. It is, you suddenly feel anger and fear radiating. It's odd from the visage of your deity. And you feel the strength of your deity start to wane in you. Speak in your mind, saying, "Stop this dream." Your eyes come open. You're in the bed in the barracks. here in the city, rain coming down outside. This disturbed feeling that something is leaching energy from your gut. Wrong. You, tossing and turning, finally getting to sleep, dream of a desolate landscape. Around, make a perception check in your dream. Okay. Looking around, it takes a minute. Like, you just see kind of a desolate landscape, broken buildings, twisted trees burning in some areas. There's this arid, dry air. But suddenly you realize this is the same cityscape you're sleeping in right now. You've been staying in for the past few days. Instead of this lush, humid landscape, it's this arid, broken, burning landscape. You're a huge thud suddenly as something crashes to the ground behind you, shaking the entire ground around you. Turning, you see the familiar figure of the known mistress,
Oh.
but hundreds of feet tall,
Oh.
struggling for breath,
Oh no.
robes torn and bloodied. She looks over at you, her huge head turning in the rubble as she looks at you, and she opens her mouth and starts to whisper, "Help me." And suddenly, this dark vapor slams down around her and into her eyes and nose and mouth and ears, and seems to just, as her body kind of slams around, tensing and thrashing on the ground, toppling a few of the buildings that were still standing around her. She's not more than maybe 100 yards off from her. So this is, and you're running towards her? As you run closer, get closer, she's still thrashing, but then suddenly it stops. Maybe at this point 50 feet off to this huge form of this well-known figure to you. And this dark vapor starts to dissipate. You see a figure, maybe 6 feet tall, standing right next to her shoulder. Back to you in a dark robe, like dark gray.
Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry.
Figure turns to you, eyes hidden, but a grin on their face, just like in Roland's dream. Somehow familiar. Wait.
Pretty sure I am.
First, make an intelligence check. Just intelligence modifier.
I have to channel your 20.
Is that
Very low DC.
Okay, that's not too bad. Just like a flat.
Yeah, intelligence. Yeah, your modifier and d20.
Uh, 16.
Takes a minute, just kind of blinking and trying to think. You recognize the face somehow. The main thing that stands out to you is that it was a red-skinned face. But pointed teeth. Just,
Do I know?
I mean, you might know. It reminds you somewhat of someone you used to travel with. One warlock.
Oh. Rocky was red.
Roll a d10 for me real quick.
I rolled. Oh, you said a D10.
D10, yeah.
Sorry. Four.
You take 4 psychic damage, and you suffer from 1 point of exhaustion.
No.
Alright. Chomp. You dream of returning to the city of doors and seeing more marvels than you even dreamed could be there in a lifetime. All in kind of quick succession, like almost like a montage. Just these marvels and things being built powered by arcane engines and all kinds of really cool stuff. And you end up going to return to the Hand of Time, to the Clockwork Shop, to become a guild member. As you enter, Saddam, the guild master there, turns to greet you. He's got this huge smile on his face, and he walks forward to shake your hand, and as he does, like the warm glow of the city fades from around you, and it all goes to cold light. And you see, and you look down at his hand and then back up at his face, and his face is just like this unliving mask with this too big smile on it, and these unseeing eyes. As you kind of jerk back, jerking your hand out of his, everything around you starts to crumble like badly killed clay. And you feel suddenly cold. Everything eventually, within about 30 seconds, goes totally black around you. Oh gosh, yes, that is. I remember seeing that video.
Yeah.
Everything's around you crumbling. It goes black within about 30 seconds. And you hear a now fairly familiar voice speak to you out of your face. I'll have you soon. Two hands and a fanged mouth suddenly flash out of nowhere towards your face. And you wake with a start, upright in bed, panic. And lastly, Lysander, hanging out.
She's got one hell of a spider crush on me.
Well, you fucked around and he's finding out. You dream of a past get together with your brother over a couple pints in a local tavern, also in the city of Doors. If you sit talking, your brother kind of suddenly frowns, looks very serious. Says to you, something's wrong. Before you can respond, you wake. You hear the rain coming down. But also you hear a sudden thud and a kind of ah! From the small room you know Chomp is staying in. Just right there.
Chomp?
It sounded like Chomp. It sounded like Chomp slightly alarmed. Most of you are able to go back to sleep. Crom, you're not really able to go back to sleep that night, which is why you end up suffering from one point exhaustion. Awake in the morning, you know this is the morning that you are supposed to leave your journey to the Hour Authority. Early in the morning, a couple of pachyderm type guards, white male, show up at your door, knocking roughly. Bam, bam, bam.
5 more minutes.
One
Oh,
of them-
wait.
You hear one of them say, "No, it is you to be coming. Yes, let's go."
Hey.
The boat, it leaves soon. You all getting up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, here. Alright. They gesture for you to follow, telling you that there's you're gonna be briefed on some things about the Empire, the Iron Authority, and Summer itself, the capital city, which is where you're gonna be trying to infiltrate. Being brought to a small room in the main kind of administrative building, like palace kind of area, you're introduced to a monk of the Cobalt Soul named Perfina, who is kind of a tabby house cat looking tabaxi. Who, as you're coming in, says, "Yes, it is good to meet all of you. I hear we are going to Tsarmak, but it's an interesting place, very interesting, extremely different culture. So please, follow along as I explain some things to you about But first, are there any questions about what's happening or where you're going to? I hear you know already. Picturing over to you. And I may cover these things, I suppose, after the fact. But there it is. Basically, Sarm, the capital city of the Iron Authority, mainly an empire run by hobgoblins, with a good smattering of other goblinoids, smaller stature goblins, bugbears, things like that. Is ruled by the Iron Emperor, in the name, of course, of Bane, their god. The current emperor's name is Sjar. He is, though, aging a bit and is expected to be succeeded by his son at some point in the future. Zundak. The city is somewhere around the second largest on the continent, maybe 70,000 people. 65 to 70% of them are hobgoblin. About another 10% are goblin, and 20 to 25% are different races. Mainly, those other races are kept slaves. Yeah.
Coming back to the
There is a system within the Iron Authority. You can buy your way out of slavery within the Iron Authority. In fact, many slaves were sold by their families sometimes as part of a debt or something like that. Others are captured in war. All, though, are marked. One line, known as odds, one scarred line under the right eye, means 1/4 or less of their debt paid. 2, known as evens, is between half and 3/4 of their debt paid. 3, known as a quarter short, up to 3/4 or 3/4 or almost all of their debt paid. And then, of course, there are a few who have paid off their debt. She uses her clause as air quotes. Won't say that word every time. 4 lines are whole or made whole. Freedmen. It has, I suppose, worked for them for a long time. I myself, and most others in Taldori, are not a fan of this way of doing things, but nevertheless, it is how they do. It is located at the southernmost tip of the continent of Taldori on the Bay of Strife, a hooking bay that comes in out of the Southern Ocean. It has 2 ports within the city, the North Port and the Raven Port. There are several different areas of the city, including the Citadel of the Strife Emperor, which is actually the helm of the god Bane, which was dropped when he was defeated during the calamity by Melora, as Gundar spits.
Goddess of nature.
The goddess of it is a huge piece of armor, and in fact the rest of the armor near the city that was dropped when he was banished is reportedly being mined as magical iron. The district around the Citadel, the High District, is home to most of the Empire's wealthy and well-connected families. It is known by most as the Mill, supposedly for the way it grinds up those who can't deal with it. There's also, west of the Citadel, the 7 Lodges, a winding maze where the 7 guild halls and of different crafters and things exist. The weavers, the masons, the bakers, the armorers, the farriers, the arcanists, and the thieves. North side of the city, there's the Stone Fair, which is many markets and such. There is also, outside of the city to the north, the Ash Village, where many of the slaves of the city are currently mining the armor of the betrayer Godfrey. You all, as infiltrators into the city, with of course the exception of Gundar, has some type of credentials and is known there. We will be temporarily marking your cheeks, the right eye, with 4 marks as freedmen. Just so that you will not be questioned. There are no non-goblin or hobgoblin races there that are not marked, so it will be done. There is, of course, a contact for you to try to find within the city. We don't give out names just for operational security. However, there are 2 other monks of the Cobalt Soul within the city of Tsarm that are undercover within 2 of the different guild halls. They will know you. That's where we've been getting some arcane messages through to them. They will approach you as such and tell you they are from the Cobalt Soul. In any case, there is a medium-range skyship that will be taking you most of the way to the outskirts. Should only take a couple days. Are there any other questions?
Thieves Guild.
Thieves Guild, yes.
Or just blanked out the names. Which crime syndicate is bigger there?
Well, their Thieves Guild, the official Thieves Guild, is not run by one of the syndicates. However,
Yeah, Harbaugh just blanked out totally on the ones we've been playing with.
well, there's 2 of them. There is the class, which
Okay,
is
good.
who you are part of, and then there's the Myriad.
Yeah, that's the other one.
She tells you that both of those guilds are active within the city, but are not official guilds under government regulation.
Certainly there's an official Thieves Guild that's sanctioned by the
There
board.
is. It's just known as the Thieves Guild, and it is. They have a headquarters somewhere within the 7 lodges.
Okay.
Any other questions? Requests? You're leaving in just an hour or 2 here. The launching grounds on the the edge of the basin outside the city.
Are we his ex-slaves, or do we just, if anybody asks us?
If anyone asks, you are freedmen of. You can choose what your profession is. It's a large city. Anything you can think of is done there. One more thing to know. I don't know if any of the rest of you are worshippers of other religions or deities. Bane is the only god officially recognized by the crown. There are other gods occasionally worshipped throughout the city, but it is generally kept fairly quiet. So, make quiet with the worship of gods of myth. Any other questions?
The upgraded armor or the modified armor, does anything about it change? Just so I know. Or is it just still, it's just more ornate plate armor?
It's more ornate. It's in the official colors of the Iron Authority army.
Okay.
Which I haven't really come up with colors for that. They may exist somewhere else. I don't know what you think they would be. Black and red.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Normally the armor is just solid black, And then if you have a cape or a cloak, it's normally crimson. Yeah.
Yes.
Take me seriously, I'm the Bane. Stop laughing.
And official logo is a unicorn head with eyelashes. Eyelashes.
Queen butt stallion.
Real though it's not, it's actually 3 chains. Because, you know, the god of what, domination and not very domination, but what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe oppression.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Alright. So that you are told you got a few minutes before you'll be before the person with your exact instructions to get you a ride comes. So kind of relax.
War and Conquest.
War and Conquest. There you go. As you're relaxing, maybe stepping outside for a minute, Serafina, the Tabaxi, walks up to you, and says, "Honored to meet the ancient champion of the Knowing Mistress. We at the Cobalt Soul don't necessarily worship her, as few do, but you know, we follow her teachings as we knowledge and the learning of secrets is very important to us. Watch out for the 2 operatives in the city. There's, as I said, 2. I can't give you their names. There's one who's female, one who's male. Careful with that. She points to the sword across your back. Breaking it, as I understand, she kind of goes really whisper with this. But as weak as things seem to be, the chains breaking that free. So don't break.
Don't break your sword. Yeah. This is news to me.
Oh god, now I'm gonna be scared.
I rolled a 1.
In any case,
That'd be the biggest
and
criminal.
she kind of does a quick bow and nod to all of you.
You've destroyed the
and
world.
leaves. Maybe 10 minutes later, a half-elf government low-level official comes, gives you some directions. You are to head to the west side of the city, where there are tunnels that lead to switchback tunnels up to the top of the cliffs of the basin, where there is apparently a kind of skyport-ish thing at the top. Easy enough. Easy enough to find your way there. Is there anything anybody else wants to do in just this last little bit going out of the city? What is the have you found a
Yeah, I think I was going to. I was going to learn the 4th level spell Dimension Door.
do you need me to add it or something?
No, I added
You
it.
added it.
No, I feel like I'm doubling up on a lot of like spells that are similar sometimes, but this one in particular, I can teleport myself and some objects, or I can bring a little person with me up to 500 feet to any spot within 500 feet, but it doesn't have to be one that I can see. I can say like it can be in a direction. I want to teleport 300 feet north or something like that. That's what I'm
That sounds fun.
Yeah. 500 feet, pretty far. But I also have like pass wall, which allows me to open up a tunnel
it's
through
good.
solid objects.
Those are good.
But when I have to learn teleport, which is like teleportation circle without the circle.
Right.
And you can
That's
take us all
gonna
or
be-
just yourself.
I can take all of us, and that's why I was thinking this is like what, a 5-day trip that we're about to take.
It's like a 3-day trip by skyship. Yeah.
But I also feel like we needed, we kind of have to go with these people because we're getting like, that's kind of part of our in, right? Like these people are delivering us.
I mean, no, could attempt to teleport directly into a city you've never seen before.
Right. Well, the only way that I was thinking about doing that is if it would be helpful, and also if we had an object from there within 6 months, I think, or something. There's
So you need to be picking up things from places.
Oh,
that we
I'm.
go
Oh,
to.
yeah. I'm definitely. Before we leave, I want to grab some object from this town. I mean, like
Rock.
a stone off the ground. I mean, just like any old little thing, stick in my pocket.
It's easy enough to find. You can decide what it is, as long as it's a mundane object. And yeah, just put that in your inventory. Make sure to mark it where it's from.
Yeah.
What's the name of this
Important.
place?
Oh no.
Miradol Park,
Yeah, that's right.
city in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah, if I have, if I know that there's a permanent if I know the sigils of a teleportation circle, or if I have an associated object from that location, 100% chance we all would get there fine.
Nice.
Don't ask about the other options. There are other options.
You ever seen The Fly?
Ooh.
That's one option. Is
Throwing your bird.
kinda, sorta.
You are not in the wall. You are the wall.
Yeah, mishap. If I roll really low on the D100, it's a mishap. And that means we all end up in a random place, maybe not even on this plane of existence, and we all.
I mean, that could be fun too.
Similar area is also not exactly great. It could be like anywhere in the world. Like if I'm trying to teleport us to a castle by the sea,
It could be
and
any
I
castle.
roll a
by the
similar
sea.
area. It teleports us to some castle by some sea. But you know, if there's
It's still a fun spell.
yeah.
Yeah, very useful. Alright. So, heading out. You're headed across the city. We're not doing anything special. But
Sandra, you're not going to go sing a farewell song to the cat statue?
you get no response. As you cross, though, the observer, the cat with the 4 wings statue, which you have to cross through that big square to go at the side of the city, it is in an entirely different position than it was the last time you saw it.
Cool.
Like,
Kind of like, did I do that? I don't remember making. I don't know.
remember, it winked at you last
Yeah.
time.
Still don't know what to think about that.
Because we're not being escorted out of the city. Who's leading the way through the city here?
I'm exhausted. So.
I'll do it.
Make sure you are exhausted. Go for it and roll just a survival check.
Not a 20. 9.
9. It takes a while through the city. Like, you get lost at one point in vast directions, and so at the point where you finally find the tunnel entrance to the switchback tunnels going up, which there's about 6 switchbacks, which are kind of go back and forth with the stone here. You're thinking you're going to be late, like they're going to be angry with you. I don't know that they're going to leave without you, but you definitely know you're off the timeline right now. Heading into the tunnel, it's fairly well lit with the the kind of glow globes, the magical glow globes that light the rest of the city, until you get to about the third switchback. It seems like something's wrong. There's a couple of them that are just totally burnt out. There's one near the middle that's just kind of flickering on and off like a bad fluorescent bulb.
I'm gonna stop if I can and make everyone stop behind me. I think we might be about to get ambushed
So what, the lights were flickering?
and off. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some that are just out. There's others that are flickering around. And
Can I still see?
Are they magical bulbs?
I mean, it's tough because it's flickering on and off.
Yeah, but that would just be
you
like
can see.
Yeah.
Well, you can still see. It's just like it's harder to see, and they are magical bulbs. I mean, you can see. You don't see any. You don't see anything just immediately, like a quick scan of the area. If you want to look closer, you can roll a perception check.
Do we have any? Is it just us walking to this place? We don't have like a
led, right? No.
No,
No.
you were given
Oh, okay.
instructions.
right. So we don't have
So
a
rolling.
native. We don't have a
Yeah.
any.
they wanted to say, hey, it's been like this for weeks.
Yeah, we don't have a townie to like judge their reaction or somebody
Should
hasn't
we-
paid their utilities.
Should we light a torch in case we get in a sticky situation? We'll have our own lighting ready.
And then we'll also give away where we are.
Are we sneaking?
I mean, it's not dark. They can still see it.
You can,
Yeah.
you can see. It's not like
Okay.
it's not
Yeah.
dark in here. It's just
Oh,
like
okay.
a flickering bulb, and just it's suddenly it just kind of throws you. This is the first magical light you've seen doing this in the city.
You're just making us nervous. That's all.
Is
Like I'm not telling you you're doing it on purpose. But
Is
that's
it
why
like
we're-
within
That's
reach?
why we're freaking out. That's
Yeah.
why we're like.
Is it like within reach?
Yeah.
Or is it just like
maybe
way up?
it's not, maybe it's not screwed in all the
Each
way.
one of these switchbacks is a good 150 feet long.
My bulbs.
I'm saying if someone were to walk up to it, is it within reach?
Oh yeah, it's like the ceilings are like 8-foot ceilings, and this one's like these are kind of just floating just down from the ceiling on the wall. So somebody a good like a not so tall person could reach up and touch it.
So they're still floating?
Let's pick up the pace. Pick up the pace,
Influence
guys.
of
Let's
the
get
city.
I want to get on that discussion.
Kind of like a
Anybody
magical
else
range, it
need to?
seems.
Are you? You're not familiar with these.
I was gonna go up and flick it. But I don't think I can actually
Make sure
reach
it's
it, so-
screwed in tight.
Let's.
Oh, there it is.
Double time.
All right,
If there's a problem,
Clunk,
we'll
clunk,
handle
clunk,
it
clunk,
when
clunk, clunk.
it happens.
walking through, you get about halfway down. Jump. You feel like something grabs your ankle.
Did you tell us already?
No, because she asked about it and he's like, oh, I just tripped.
I think we were like going through a crowd, and I just figured it was just like, that's weird.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
+3.
Especially odd to you since you are in the middle of the group. Usually.
Like, Crump, stop stepping on my heels. Oh no,
Oh dear.
Good thing you don't have a sword.
that was a natural one.
A natural 1.
Y'all. Oh wait, but I mean, I got
+3.
+3, and I got, but you know, +3 for my dexterity
A
score.
crit
But I mean, it's a
is-
crit.
Yeah, crit.
Otherwise,
Fail.
it's a what? +3, 7.
7. Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
not an
bad
attack,
music.
but you know what's happening now.
Roland tried.
Face plant.
You
Bam!
just bam, yeah, exactly. Face plant. You are grappled and you
All music started.
sounds
This is the big bad end guy.
looking back,
All music engaged.
looking back, your nose immediately is bloody, and you take. Let me see.
We all died last.
You take
Yeah.
1 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
One shot. We died.
Oh, wow. I wish I had been here for that. I wanted to take part in that, but
It was a good time.
We were all like,
yeah.
And you are grappled. Looking back, you see a shadowy hand extending out of the ground just below, and as you look at it, and it's gripping your hand, your ankle. A familiar face, comes up. It's the shadow demon that used to come out of the.
Oh no, it's coming to get you.
Which
You remember that cursed object you carried? That if you lost it, the shadow demon would hunt you down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean that.
That ruby or something.
The ruby of Law.
If you teleport us, it would take. It's like that. It follows. It'll just take it a while to come back in.
Spiders kept coming out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's where the
So
spiders would be at,
yeah,
and you kind of left it behind. But
Which is different than losing. That's voluntary.
hey,
separate.
buddy. Anyway, could you all roll initiative?
Banish it. Bam. I don't know banish, but if I did, that's what I would do. Okay, so exhaustion
28.
or ability checks, right? It doesn't impact my initiative.
well, if you go to the conditions, it'll tell you what.
I know, but
I'll tell you. Disadvantage on ability checks for one level
Thank
of exhaustion.
I thought so.
That sounds right.
So,
Okay, so, what has everybody got for their initiatives?
15.
17.
19.
17, you say? And 19 for Gundar. What about the rest? What about Chomp? That's
7.
Ugh.
and Lysander.
Like, I'm not ready for this. I need a minute.
What?
Yeah.
Natural 20 and I have +8 on initiative.
Oh yeah, you have ridiculous initiative.
I didn't
That's
try to
right.
do that. It just
Are you
happened.
gonna sing at it?
I mean, you can.
I'm gonna do something else.
Rolling it.
You all in the midst. Let's see how.
Didn't dance at it.
No.
And I want to dance.
I'm gonna
Dance.
talk.
Dance,
I'm
bye.
gonna talk smack.
You're gonna toss that.
Where?
Yep.
You need to. Where?
Saw that episode of Bob's Burger
No.
sometime recently, and it made me laugh so hard.
Look.
60.
It's Bob's Burger.
Bob's Burgers is an amazing show. The Lunchbox.
Oh, okay.
Lots of. It's a car.
So this is it's a pretty wide
Yeah.
show. We got.
Like.
What are the order you guys would have been in? Who would have been in front?
I would have.
You would have.
I don't know. I was kind of annoyed
I mean,
with
you
y'all,
were
so I
here.
may have hung back while y'all all been on into this obvious ambush.
Well, you didn't say it. Unless you just said it then.
No, I tried. I remember. I
No,
think-
no, I
yeah.
mean, no, you didn't say that it happened. Like,
Okay.
where are you in the
Lysander.
lineup is what I'm
I
asking.
was in the front.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna put you in the front. You were all basically in a line. The Shadow Demon came up, and it is technically in the same space as Chomp. It's prone.
Mm,
Wow.
Oh, am I also? So I'm also
And
prone?
grappled.
And grappled.
Yeah, because you fell.
here.
You fell.
Yes.
Okay. So, Lysander, you're up.
Do vicious mockery. I'm gonna do the whole chord thing. Say, piss off, ghost. So it's a wisdom 16.
Wisdom saving throw. It's a 19 altogether.
All right.
No effect on a fail.
Guess it doesn't take any damage. Doesn't say anything about half.
Okay.
But everything has they just have.
You gonna do any movement or anything? Because it is like right. Top was in front of you, and so it is. He is.
What am I?
Yeah. You're like right on it.
Is it possible to hide?
Is it? I mean, you're in the middle of a pretty smooth slightly angled upwards tunnel.
I mean, I'm pretty broad. Right out behind me.
You could get around Gundar and get on the other side of him. You might suffer an attack of opportunity if you did. It's up to you.
I guess I'll just stand
Alright. As your turn ends, and Gundar, you are up after him, but he's a strong demon. And getting stronger. Yeah. Got an upgrade.
Yeah, I figured we would.
Takes one claw attack at you with the claw that's not holding you.
Okay.
That is a something to hit. Let me see here. Where is?
I mean, he probably has advantage on the attack roll also. I don't know if that makes a difference. Because I'm prone and grapple.
Thank you. That's a 27 to hit.
Yes.
Oh, is it? Yeah. That shield spell's got really
Yeah.
Swinging.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay. You take 15 psychic damage.
Fine.
Yeah.
Ouch.
As it claws into you, and it almost seems to go through you, but you feel this like just electric shock throughout your brain and nervous system. After that, Gundar, you're up.
Channel Divinity. Confusion.
Let's do it.
Each creature in a. Fuck up.
What?
The sphere is centered on the
No.
demon. Who all is within 10 feet of that sphere?
Did you?
That would be
I didn't read that part.
within 10 feet. You're just outside 10 feet. But that would be Lysander, Chomp, and Crump.
What happened to
Sorry.
us?
You all have to make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw. But good news is y'all get +3.
That's true. You do get +3. Sorry.
Oop.
Whatever one.
Wisdom saving
Wisdom
throw?
saving throw DC 16.
Oh.
Get +3.
Fail.
Sorry. I was trying to be helpful.
The Shadow Demon gets 16.
Alright.
17.
Not that bad.
As is Chomp.
I got like 29.
Alright, what is the effect on a failure?
They become affected, can't take reactions, and must roll a d10 at the start of each of its turns to determine its behavior for that turn. If it rolls a 1, creature uses all its movement to move in a random direction. 2 through 6 doesn't move or take actions this turn. 7 through 8 must use its action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach. If there's no creature within reach, it does nothing. And if it's a 9 or a 10, it can perform normally. And it can redo the saving throw at the start of each turn, or at the end of each turn.
At the end of each turn. Okay, so does
So the only one that failed was actually Lysander.
so Lysander on. Okay.
At the start of his turn, he has to roll a d10, and that determines the
Okay.
what he
Okay.
I'm sorry, that backfired.
It happens
Can
sometimes.
you
Permanent
dispel it? Oh, you can't dispel
It's the channel divinity
Okay.
spell.
So,
So he's got a
last.
Oh.
he's got to save the throw.
Okay, Crom, you are up.
Oh.
Chomp is on the ground right in back of you as you turn,
Oh no.
and the demon is rising out of the ground and just clawed at him.
And I am right.
You are basically Chomp's laying down.
I see.
You're here, so you're like it's you could go
Yeah.
around it.
Okay. Yeah. I would like to hit that demon in the face.
Hitting that demon in the
Well,
face.
raging.
Rage and then hit. Okay, go. You're good.
17. That's
17 is not hit. Across and the shadows, because as around the shadow demon, like the light in here was already flickering and kind of dim. The shadows around it, it's hard to see exactly where it begins a bit.
so
Hitting
I
it.
can attack.
Yep. Yeah.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Only got 16.
Again,
We're off to a great start.
this is
Oh, trust me, Roland's really dying. That's scream. Told you so at the top of his lungs.
okay. As that happens, the shadow demon seems to suddenly just kind of almost looks at you and gives like a hiss at you and seems to almost dissipate into shadow into the floor. Yeah.
I'm sure I think it's good with my sword. Maybe. Should we? Maybe. I don't know. I'm
I mean-
speculating.
It just seems to disappear into the floor and you're not sure what's going on, but that was the end of your turn anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah. Roland, you are up. You're not sure where the shadow demon went.
Is he still prone and grappled?
He's still, and you are no longer grappled. Jump.
I want to, since he's not around, I'm gonna go on and prepare an action with my sword.
Actually, let me look at something. Yeah, that's what he did. Okay. You're gonna prepare an action? And what are
Well,
you
he's
doing?
he's not around anymore. Is it? Didn't he just like?
Yeah, he disappeared into the floor, it seems like.
Yeah,
You're not sure where he went.
yeah. So I just want to get my rapier ready.
Okay, and well, I mean, what action are you going to prepare? Like, you can prepare any action.
Yeah, just
Like, so just an
whack
attack
him with my
action.
rapier. Yeah.
Okay. So you're ready for him to reappear and attack.
So
Chomp, you are on the ground. What are you doing?
he was able to disappear. Like he did. There's no.
He's non-corporeal.
Okay. So you can't get a attack of opportunity.
He, because there is dim light in here, took
Yeah.
the hide action as a
Oh.
bonus action, and can also take on the end of one of your turns half his movement. So
He's shadow.
and can also pass through the floor into a lower level of tunnel.
Fun.
Yeah, he was really cool when I could control him.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Ruby.
Listen,
Chomp, you're up.
Deal with some spiders.
spiders. I'm gonna stand up and I guess I'm gonna prepare it. I'm gonna hold. So if I want to prepare a spell to cast as... Can I prepare a spell to cast as a reaction when the shadow demon reappears?
I mean, you could just hold your action.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
prepare a spell to hold as an action and release it when.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Alright, what spell are you?
Banishment.
Good old fun one. Okay. Good to know. It's now the demon's turn. Demon suddenly. So you stood back up.
Yes.
You stood back up.
It finished.
Well, it appears.
I'm holding my action for when he appears.
It appears. It rises out of the floor, kind of shoots up, and Roland, you came up here, kind of charging up. It appears and takes 2 slashing or claw attacks at you. In the meantime, though, yes, you roll for your attack that you had held. And what's the DC on the banishment?
It's going to be a charisma 18.
And it rolls a natural 20. So,
Try.
the banishment, like this wave of energy starts and then kind of like flickers out in your hands as the shadow demon just kind of flexes and darkness grows around it. What's the attack?
23.
That will hit. Roll for some
And I'm
damage.
gonna do a sneak attack too. So that takes actually 6.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
currently engaged with a. Yeah.
6.8. Okay. 2. That's roll, please. 4. 37 damage.
Oh wow, 37 damage in one hit. With your rapier, you feel it like cut in. It doesn't seem to do as much damage as you thought it should. Maybe it's because it's a shadowy form and it's made of shadow. So
Yeah.
You can't see the damage as much, but something tells you it did damage, but maybe not as much as you thought it would. But with that, it takes 2 claw attacks at Chomp. The first one is a 25 to hit.
Nope.
Second one is another 25 to hit.
Both hit.
God damn.
It's to you.
He
Yeah,
is.
he's gonna be after me.
Yeah.
Protect the gnome. Protect the gnome.
Should we try to maybe, I don't know, good if we could get in a circle?
It's a shadow demon. It can just occupy the same space.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe a circle. Or put them in the triangle or something between
You take 38 psychic damage.
How much?
38 psychic damage as once again this like shock of nervous energy pain just runs throughout your body as it seems to pass through you and kind of stop a little bit as its claws rake through. That. Yeah. Oh no, Lysander.
Roll a d10. Sorry. 2. So 2 through 6 doesn't move or take actions. That really backfired.
That's the you know sometimes like
But I can't use it.
it's just like when what did you roll?
That's for the end of my turn.
The save and throw.
So you
Yeah.
saved. Yeah, you saved that.
19.
Okay, so you're Gundar, you're up this time.
I move up to him and I start wailing on him.
Yeah. There. Go ahead and make your dex. Crime, you're up next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were like dead center almost enough.
So 26 and a 14.
26 hits, 14 does not.
Right
on there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
47 damage.
47?
Is it? No, 47.
47. How much
and
of that is what?
It's all magic.
Oh no, but I mean specifically. Because there are resistances, immunities, and
10.
vulnerabilities.
10 of it is battle axe,
Okay.
and 37 of it is divine smite.
Ooh, which is all radiant.
And is it a? I know it's. Is it a demon or a fiend?
It is
Demon.
demon. Yeah. Which means your divine smite does extra damage. Yes.
+4, so 47, 51.
51
So
radiant damage.
41 radiant damage, 10 battle axe. Magical battle axe.
So, you know enough being a paladin and having been the acolyte of two different gods that a shadow demon is vulnerable to radiant damage, so it does twice as much damage.
So that's 82 radiant damage.
82 radiant damage. You see, as your axe comes down through it, just this bright, harsh light shining off of it suddenly as it breaks through and like carves part of the shadow away, almost like. And as it starts to reform, it hisses at you, and you can see its red eyes kind of go wide, as it didn't really see you as a threat until right now. But it got pretty hurt. Crom, you're up.
Okay.
Or do you have that was because you're
Yeah, I rolled both my
Can't
attacks.
do radiant damage.
Oh yeah.
I don't-
You can as a bonus action radiate
About that.
put your aura up and you do extra radiant damage if you do.
What about that?
But there was something about like it
There was something about it.
would
yes.
end your rage, or you wouldn't be able to rage, or you couldn't do it while you're raging, or
No,
something
you can.
weird.
You can totally do it.
Well, there was some reason why you didn't do that, but
That was I think
Imagine if both hits hit.
yeah, you might have. Well, it's
That's why I love paladins. I don't have to declare my divine smites before I hit.
exactly.
Did 30-something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
60 something.
I did 51 raw,
I did, yeah.
and then 41 of it got doubled, so 82. So I did 92 damage.
And I did another 30.
So you
the
do
thing is, like,
an
I
extra
21
d6,
if I can talk in
and then
right?
when it comes down, you actually heal for 1d10 plus
I always forget
plus your
about
wisdom.
yeah.
that. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
like because originally it hurt you and
Yeah.
it did
Right.
necrotic damage, but when
Yeah.
when he cleansed it heals you and does radiant damage. But yeah, you can totally start it up.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to do that, please. As I guess I have to use that as a bonus action. I can't use frenzy as a bonus action then.
That's true.
So, but
But go ahead and roll your attacks.
go. I think this actually does hit 20.
20 will hit.
Oh, let's go.
You can roll them both and roll for all at once if you want. It's up to you. Roll both your attacks. You can make it quicker.
Sorry.
Okay.
You did not. That one was not good.
Okay. So roll for your
yeah.
damage.
Alright, so that's. $19 damage. And then radiant damage is an extra what?
1d6.
Didn't do that.
Nice. Okay. It's good to because it matters. It break out anyway.
What did I just say?
1d6. You said 19
19.
plus
Okay, then plus 4.
4. All right. So it's actually turns into 8 because it's vulnerable.
Nice.
So yes. Okay. So as you miss with one, but then the other coming back up, you slice through that same kind of radiant energy, a little bit different quality to the radiant light from your weapon, but still it slices through, and you can see part of the shadow part of it, and it turns back at you and seems to be just kind of battered from all sides. Roland, you are up.
All
What should you do?
right. Same thing with the rapier.
Part of that was
27.
I'm going to use one of my lucky points and reroll. Oh. 6. I don't think I hit.
6 does not hit.
No, 6 plus 9. 15.
15. No.
Yeah.
And then Chomp, you're up.
Okay. You know, seeing the radiant damage, I'm going to cast this new spell.
Before that, just 1 second. At the end of Roland's turn,
Yeah.
it's going to turn to you and take a swipe at you. That is a 21 to hit.
Nope.
Sorry, you're 24. So it misses.
And at disadvantage.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rolled the same. So yeah, does not hit you, but it's panicked and just takes a swipe. All right, so what do we cast?
Crown of Stars.
Uh-huh.
So seven stars of light orbit my head, and
Nothing.
7 stars of light are going to orbit my head and shed bright light for 30-foot radius or whatever. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to send one of the stars streaking towards the Shadow Demon.
Okay. 4d12 radiant damage.
Yeah, if it ranged spell attack.
Okay. And actually, it's casting bright light right now, too, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's a 25 to hit.
Go ahead.
So stars is going to be 21 radiant damage.
Good job.
2. Okay. It lances out and burns into the form. It doesn't have to go more than a couple feet because it's right in front of you. And like just about burns a hole through his chest. You can see him kind of slump forward, trying to protect himself as the light goes out, kind of wincing and the red eyes kind of squinting from the radiant stars above your head. With that, it's his turn. He is gonna take a bonus action, disengage, and just disappear.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. That. I mean, you think anyway. Takes a minute. Oh, you're all just breathing hard, wondering what the heck just happened again. As you wait just a couple seconds, the light blinking off to the side suddenly goes bright and steady, and the two ones that were out on either side of this long hall also, with a couple of blinks, come back on, bathing the entire this part of the tunnel back in light again.
Well,
Ugh.
that was
How much
fun.
health you missing?
Most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have 13 hit points left.
You get all of it back.
I get all of my hit points back.
Yep.
How many hit points do you usually have?
67.
I have my lay on hands full of 65.
You've got more, as many hit points as I do.
Y'all are squishies.
We are, yeah, I'm big and squishy.
You have a better AC, I think.
I've
Yeah,
got
I'm sure I do.
147 health.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got 135.
Beefy
My
boys.
AC is not anywhere near where yours is, I'm
We're
sure.
beefy boys. You need to get you a
I'm
perfect
a
replacement.
girl, okay?
Girl, what's the replacement?
I'm
Beefy
a very
peoples.
girly girl.
We're beefy peoples.
We are.
Did
Okay.
you ever get him to wear the tutu to the party, or was that just
Probably not.
remember that
Yeah,
costume
or-
party?
Oh, okay.
That sounds right.
Very reluctantly.
Sorry about that, guys. Crazy exes,
Yeah. All right. You all continuing on, I guess. You're even later now. At this
Chugging on along.
a couple more
Topher.
switchbacks, and you come out of a nice stone-built kind of entrance out of the ground, and find yourself in a large clearing that has been kind of chopped out of the top of the plateau above the basin, into the jungle, and it is kind of a landing ground. You see in front of you 3 or 4 wyverns with saddles on them. Different
Ooh.
people kind of taking care of them and like cinching things. A couple of them with flight goggles up on their heads. You see a few, like some stables over the side with about a half dozen griffins. Most of them just,
Shit, why couldn't we find this
Flying
earlier?
mount. Yeah.
most of them with just like their heads back and under their wings, just kind of taking a nap. There are 2. It's hard. I don't know that any of you would have seen this before. It's like these small wooden, maybe the size of like a large fishing boat or something like that. Like kind of constructs below these huge oval-shaped balloons with ropes all the way around them, propellers on the back of the wooden the wooden constructs. The balloons are floating above the wooden constructs. It's dirigibles, basically.
So say, is this the Hindenburg?
Yeah, yeah, they're blimps.
Very
Weren't we
rudimentary.
on
Zone.
Weren't we on an airship before?
You flew on a skyship.
Yeah, it wasn't. It had
Yeah.
like sails and stuff.
Yeah, as you're kind of walking in and kind of taking this in, kind of glancing at some of you were just pointing things out. There's an odd contraption that's giving off arcane sparks from some kind of engine. It has several propellers sticking out in different angles and directions. You're not sure if this will fly, but there is a gnome that looks like they're like tightening bolts with a wrench on it, and looking like they're getting it ready to try to do something. And there are 3 skyships, similar to ones that you've seen before. 2 of them are marked with the markings of the Taldori Navy, and manned by sky sailors, I guess. The third is a more medium-sized skyship, which is smaller than even a medium-sized ship you'd see on the ocean, and you recognize it. In fact, as the same one you've been on before, the Diana. And as you realize this, coming up near the side, the familiar hammerhead shark head of the Commodore glances over the side and says, "Yar! It's good to see you."
Okay, I couldn't remember how we left things with him.
This,
We've pissed some
this
people
was
off
the
before.
ship that Thomas fell off of.
Thomas Schatz was the first mate on this ship when you last rode it, and in a fight with a storm giant, he was knocked off the side above the ocean,
Oh, so sad.
Lucidian Ocean, and you've never seen him since.
I still don't 100% believe he's dead the way
Oh.
he keeps popping back up. Or dead.
But the Commodore, as you know him, kind of stumps down the gangplank, kind of with a. He's got kind of an odd walk. I mean, he's a humanoid shark with a hammerhead, and it's hard to make eye contact with him. He's about 10 feet tall. His eyes are about 2 feet apart, and so you're never sure which to look in. And sometimes he'll even look at you sideways a little bit. He's got a corncob pipe sticking out of one side of his mouth. Teeth look pretty sharp. As you, I believe, saw before, carries a jar half full of seawater at his side, kind of strapped to his belt, and there's several of the arms of an octopus are sticking out, and there is an octopus kind of looking at you through the glass of the jar.
That octopus.
Yeah, think about it's just the same after watching The Boys.
Oh yeah.
I still haven't watched it. I need to watch it.
Be ready. It's a thing.
All right.
Yeah.
It is. Kristen did a study.
I'm trying to
They
focus
honest
here.
to God did the study. Female octopuses will pick up things and throw them at male octopuses that are annoying them, or just fish randomly going by.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. He follows arms.
What was the octopus name? What was his name?
Which one?
Larry or
Yeah.
Terry or
The one from last night?
oh
Timothy was the one.
Timothy.
Timothy.
Timothy, that was it.
Timothy,
Poor
Timothy
Timothy.
is not with us
We
anymore.
didn't find out the name.
Yeah, the
I mean, don't tell me because I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
watch it
not gonna
eventually.
tell you,
But
What show is this?
I'll be ready.
the
Boys.
boys season 3.
It's very, very good.
I haven't
it's
seen
not
this
on
week's
Netflix,
episode.
It's gritty
Oh.
superheroes.
Is it-
There's
What
there's an
channel?
octopus in this week's episode.
I don't know.
We only
I
get
watch it
Netflix.
on Netflix.
Yeah,
No, it's
Yeah.
Amazon.
Oh,
I
Amazon.
keep meaning
Oh,
to
we have
watch it.
them too.
Yeah.
Every single episode has multiple like shockingly
It gets worse and
gory
worse
moments. Like
Cool.
it's
every week.
unlike it's just so unexpected. I'm just like, oh, I forgot this wasn't like network television that you can just show just like
Yeah,
the
like
most
Right.
disgusting. We've had to remember not to be eating while we watch the
Yeah.
show because
Oh,
it's
wow.
that bad. It's
Ugh.
that bad.
it's the most
Every
gruesome
episode.
show I've ever like mainstream show that I've
Yeah.
ever watched.
Yeah. I'm like, this isn't a trauma movie or like some crazy
Like the-
gore fest. It's a
The termite dude.
Oh,
The termite dude
very first episode.
fucked me up.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to take a second. I was like, can we pause it? Because
I was like, I had to think to myself, am I really just
my blood pressure
watching
just like
this?
shot up and I got like a headache for a second. I was like,
Anyway, great show.
sorry.
It's great.
Yes.
The Commodore
It's lovely.
comes down the gangplank and kind of arms spread wide says, "It's good to see you. I didn't realize it was going to be ye.
Yeah.
You have a friend and two new friends. It's very interesting. It's that's new.
Yeah.
All right. Well, come aboard. And you can see behind him, as he's been speaking to you, there's like several Taldori army troops that have been moving some supplies on. And it looks like there's about a half dozen of them on the ship as well, along with the regular crew. And yeah. Although as you're coming on, he kind of points at you, Chomp, and is like, "Oh, hey, what happened to your leg there?"
What do you mean?
Well, you look down and the right leg of your pants is like torn and like shredded up. You've been healed almost entirely, like so. There's no blood or anything, but it's like where the demon grabbed you is like all messed up.
Oh, it got caught. I tore it on the steps on the way up here.
Yeah. Well, that'd be interesting. But let's get on then. Okay. And he gives you kind of this look.
Ooh.
Roll a deception check. It doesn't take long for the stuff to get loaded, and eventually the 4 broomstone crystals, one at kind of each corner of the ship, there. Because unlike some sky ships, this was a converted sailing ship, and so they built on these crystal holders on the sides with these good size, like body size pieces of crystal, one, on each of 4 corners, and they start to kind of thrum with light and vibration as the arcane engine down below decks starts to kick out energy to them, and it starts floating. The wind picks up in the actual sails as they unfurl. You are off, floating above the jungle. As you gain altitude above a low level of clouds, it's immediately that the city that you know is behind you, as you look back, you can't see it. But there's just mist and cloud. And just kind of a hole a little bit in the jungle there. And it's almost like it was never there. It's nice. Okay. You know it's going to take you a few days coming down into the Bansfall Peninsula, as they call this, this narrowing end of the continent that you're on. The entire first day is spent above what's left of the jungle. varying degrees of noise coming up because you're not flying too high. Maybe a couple hundred feet up above it for the most part, staying fairly low. Occasionally the calls of different monkeys or the roar of something. You see no signs of civilization, just mist, trees. It starts to rain at one point as a large storm kind of passes over. You all kind of go below decks if you'd like. The Taldore army, with you about a half dozen of them, are kind of camped out on the foredeck under an awning that they set up under some ropes and some canvas. The regular crew kind of steers clear of them, except to go check on knots and occasionally change the rigging up a bit. But
Are they still in their military uniform?
these 6 are. They're not going to be going with you. They're just along as security, bring you out. And you're not going into the city with this. You're going to be landing somewhere near the city in the mountains is the plan, it sounds like.
I'm gonna go see if any of them want to play a dice game for money.
I mean, they're soldiers, of course.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
There are 6 of them, and every one of them wants to play with you.
All right.
What are we playing?
I don't know. Oh, sorry, I don't even know how to play
Dragon-
poker.
We're playing this game. It's called Rollies.
All right.
There are many 20-sided
Like
dice.
Sparkle.
What's up?
I don't know. It's a dice game that I found out about.
I mean, my mother wouldn't even let me learn how to play poker, so dice game are really
Is that
not
in
in my
hobby?
life. It would,
Sparkle.
is there like 21 dice or something like the highest?
I mean,
I don't know.
there's a bunch of things we can play. I mean, for the simplicity's sake,
Simplicity's sake, let's play something.
we're gonna
Just
play.
whatever.
We're gonna play Rollies.
Okay.
Give me a 20-sided die.
Uh-huh.
And whoever gets the highest wins. There are 6 of them. I need another one. 6. Okay. Go ahead and roll. What are we betting on this first?
I don't know.
I mean, you're the one that wants to gamble with these people.
Money.
Yeah, we're doing, all right, how about a silver? I don't know. Yeah, you can tell that really goes along.
500 silver.
Okay, no. Not with the roll I just made. 5 silver.
5 silver. 5 silver. That's they can agree to that. Actually, could all of you play one of the?
Yeah. What do we roll?
Give me a d20 roll and tell me what it is.
3.
I beat you.
Also a 6.
5. One of mine rolled a 10. The other rolled a. Oh. Ooh, it's 2 silver. He looks at you though and says like,
Yeah.
"Alright, so everybody roll again. All 6 are still in."
Sucks to be them. I'm rolling for them.
Oh, no, y'all? This is not my D20. No wonder the number.
Oh, that would be why you didn't get a very high number.
Oh, no, that was my
That is-
D20. Sorry.
that
I got a
was-
7.
That's
Yeah,
not-
I suddenly, I thought it wasn't.
All right, what did everybody else get?
15.
16.
8.
3.
Another one here got a 16. Now we have to have
Roll off.
roll off.
Boom.
Rollies. 16 again.
11.
Right. Another one. What's another 2? I mean, we can go on for a while.
Nah,
How
we can
much
stop
you
here. I've already lost enough silver.
want?
It's a bad day for me.
It was a bad day.
Okay, so how many more silver did I just lose?
You altogether you lost 4 silver.
Oh, I thought, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, you didn't lose a lot because you were doing nobody upped the stakes. You could have if you wanted to. In the meantime, anybody doing anything else?
I guess I'm gonna repair my pants.
I could do that.
Oh,
Wait,
you
can
got
do that
mending?
I've got fabricate. So fabricate, I could need a whole new pair of pants.
Yeah, you couldn't
getting
necessarily
enough
mend them.
material, but mending, and I don't have proficiency with like sewing or anything, so I couldn't do it regularly.
Ask around the group. See
Do
who's
that,
got.
Mindy.
Yeah, I guess once we got on the ship and like put our stuff down, stuff, be like, anybody know how to sew some pants together? And you get mending.
I know how to glue things.
No, we can always just cut them and make them into shorts.
Yeah. Let's instead of repairing it, we'll just cut the rest.
Yeah. You think you can end me up a little bit?
Is there a range on that, or do I gotta touch? Oh shit! It is touch.
You have
So I
to.
gotta rub your leg a little bit.
We're watching.
Everybody else,
Hey, come
the
on.
whole ship just stops and watches. Just like as you are having this conversation, you realize all the conversation and everything is gone quiet, and you can just hear the rigging creak a little bit, and you both look over, and every eye is like,
They act like they've never seen a mending spell before.
And then I wink and say, "I'm just kidding. You didn't have to touch me." No, I don't.
Ah, you got me. You got me.
fun.
I'm taking it.
So the first day goes. Some bending, some gambling, some napping.
Some sparring.
Yeah, easily. I mean, there's some of the troops there would gladly spar with you, as would the Commodore. He's
I want to fight the Commodore. I
As
want to
you-
fight the Shark.
as you see him,
Yeah.
but he's a big guy. Because he looked intimidating. Like he's heavily muscled, this kind of gray skin, in that kind of, and it looks like it's the same texture as a shark, like that kind of sandpaper texture. And he's got two cutlasses, one on either hip. And he looks like he's probably dangerous. Even just his bite might be dangerous. You want to try to spar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this during the day?
Yeah, this is the way you left in the late morning.
I'm gonna try to. I'm sure there's somebody up there. I'm gonna climb the roof so I can get the best view possible.
I mean, there is somebody up there. You
I
could,
want to join them.
as you get up.
Can I make a wager with him for the?
Oh
for
yeah,
the
of
sparring
course.
session?
Yeah.
I want to wager a magic item against him.
What magic item are you?
Take a risk. I'm gonna wager my shield. If I lose, I'll give him my shield.
Let's see if I have him.
Who's sparring? What's happening now?
I wanted to spar with the Commodore.
With the Commodore.
Yeah.
Let's see. If I have him. I'm pretty sure.
That or my potion of dragon strength. Actually, no. I'm gonna wager
Yeah.
the shield and I'm gonna drink the potion.
Oh. Yeah, what are the rules?
It's not to the death.
I mean,
No.
Okay.
Well, I'll come up with like whoever lands however many blows or something. It's just a sparring contest, not lethal.
Yeah, good. Maybe you could try to give him a black eye. See if you can reach up.
Chop one of the eyes off.
Just
That'll make it easier to determine which one to look in.
yeah. Okay, he agrees. What are the terms? How many hits landed?
Since I challenged, I'll let him decide how many to land. Also, I'm trying to figure out how to modify my strength to 25 temporarily.
Shit. Let me see something. It should give you, if you click on strength, like on your strength number, your actual strength score, it should give you a little box that says override score. You have to take it out afterwards, but
Yeah.
you can just override the score there by typing it in, I believe.
Okay. There we go.
Did it work?
Yep.
Okay. So,
Holy shit.
So you're going to do that.
My attack a lot.
Now that could be considered cheating to him. Are you hiding that you're taking this?
No.
Okay, in that
We didn't stipulate we couldn't use what was to our advantage. Just
I mean, he immediately starts arguing with you. He's like, "No,
Well-
that seems like
you're 7 feet taller than me.
make a persuasion check."
$19.
19. He just kind of gives you the side eye with one of his
Cheaty fat act.
eyes. Says, fine. All right. Then he kind of rolled his shoulders back, draws both cutlasses, kind of gets into a ready stance, right cutlass forward, left kind of down off to the side, and says, "Fine, then let's go."
All right.
And how many hits are we doing?
One stipulation: no magic. Straight sparring session.
Now that I've
Yeah.
drank my magic potion,
I mean, no magic spells.
Ah.
No spell casting. So I can't use smite. I can't use all my stuff. It's actual blade on blade.
Blade on blade.
We'll say 5 hits.
He says, as you say this, "Well, I gotta make it fair," and he takes one of his cutlasses and starts to scrape it across his chest. And as he does, as the blood comes out, you see the blade start to spark with a little bit of energy. It's all
I'm fine with it.
right. Okay. And so, we're doing hits, or are we doing damage done, or what are we doing? Time?
Just hits.
hits. All right, and how many hits did you want to do?
5.
5? All right, let's go.
First to 5.
First to 5. Okay, roll for initiative.
Going second. 7.
He rolled a natural 20. For 21 initiative. He doesn't have great initiative.
I don't need it. So he goes first.
Okay. So he immediately launches at you with
At
2
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Bro.
I didn't take any of my gear off. I have my cloak of displacement on.
Mm-hmm.
what am I looking at? Okay.
Some stuff. Okay. So at disadvantage. Both 8s, so that's a 19 to hit. That doesn't go. So he misses on both the first 2. Okay. And then kind of comes back into a defensive stance, but go ahead and it's your turn.
That is a natural 20 with a 35
That'll hit.
on one and 19 on the second one.
Both hit.
How do you want to handle crits? Does that count as 2 hits or just 1? Because we're not rolling for damage.
Yeah, we're not rolling for damage, so just 2.
Alright, so
It'll
that's
be
3 hits
it'll
to
be
0.
3 hits to 0. It's gonna go. That's an 18. And a second one's 27 hit.
27 hits.
So it gets 2. Okay, so you're up. You're probably gonna end it this time, I imagine.
21 and 26? 27?
there you
27.
go. So within kind of 2 back and forths, you managed to touch him 5 times.
That went way better than I thought it was gonna go.
Okay, so he says, kind of breathing heavily after just a few seconds. It's fun. But I didn't. Just realized I didn't tell you what I was wagering. But a magical item. So be it. I'll get one to you by the end of it. And that's that. Anybody else doing anything else today?
I give him a platinum for being a good sport.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna hang out discreetly around the captain for the rest of the day. You might say I'm studying him or something.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. And in that case, as the day ends. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what I've got here. As the day ends, you all bed down. You see on the horizon, as the day ended, the sun going down off to your right. You could see it shining across through some breaks in the clouds onto mountains in the distance. As you realize you're coming up, and maybe over the course of the night, you might reach the edge of the jungle and into the mountains here. Sun is going down. The Commodore walks over to you, Gundar, and hands you a ring. It says, this'll... had this for a while, but never really found any good usage for it, but there you go. Horrible. It tells you that you can link up to 3 items to this ring at once. Which you have to do by tying something to the ring for 6 hours. That's how you link something to the ring. Once something is linked to it, as long as you're wearing the ring, as a free action, you can call that thing back to you. Like Thor's hammer.
I like it. Does it require attunement?
I don't feel like it does.
If it does or not, I got an attunement slot
Yeah,
for
but
it.
it does not. Yeah, it's called the boomerang.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'll put it on.
Okay. And think about what you might want to do to that. Other than that, the day ends. Sun goes down. You studied even watching the fight between the Commodore and Gundar. So as part of that, I'm just gonna go through it real quick here because you got that new thing at level 13. No, I just want to make sure of what exactly you learned because there is. You don't get to see him write at any time.
Okay.
So you don't learn that. However, you do speech and behavior. You learn perfectly. The Commodore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The day comes to a close. You all lay down for the night. Luckily tonight, without any terrible dreams or anything like that. But upon waking in the morning, you find raining on you. Another nasty storm seems to have moved in. Just kind of lashing you with these waves of spray and rain. It's almost as if you're on the ocean at this point. It's so bad. But you'd see that you can literally see the edge of the jungle here. Like, you thought of this jungle as it's the kind of thing like it was when you came into it, that it would be slowly, there would be more trees and vegetation, and the trees would get bigger and more close and dense. But you see, even through the lashing rain, you see a almost straight line edge to this jungle. And after it, there is just barren wasteland, even under the rain. Muddy, rock, gravel, dirt, nothing growing.
What was the name of that ring?
The boomerang? I think I can add it to your. Add it, and then if you refresh, it should be there. But would anybody like to make a history check? Either history or religion.
Sure.
About why this is like this. Anybody at all?
Yeah, I'll do a history check.
I'll go with religion.
24 history.
16 religion.
All right. With the 16 religion, you know why this is like this. It happened because of the final battle of Bane on this plane. And that kind of puts you into a bad mood even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Chomp, with a 24 history, you know that the final battle between Bane and Melora at the southern tip of the Bansfall Peninsula, basically this huge swath of arid desert mountains and jagged rock was created, and nothing will grow here anymore because of the corruption that was released when Bane fell. At the time, those gods, were walking the planet here and could take the form of a human-sized person or thousands of feet tall, battling across whole continents. And that's what happened here when he fell. There are things that live here, but nothing will grow. There are only things that the only bit of ecosystem here is things that prey on each other or decompose dead things.
We must be getting close.
What was that thing in Star Wars? The very first, like the real first one with the like creatures in the robes that were getting ready to kill Luke or something.
Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, when Obi-Wan comes. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing wandering around down here.
It very well could be. You never know what's up here. You see this line through the rain, and as you pass towards the line, the rain lessens. And passing over the line, it's almost like it just isn't there anymore. Like you can see it falling above you a bit because you're still several hundred feet above the ground. Above you, you can see the rain coming down and just evaporating before it hits you. And the heat suddenly becomes like an oven up at you from the ground. You feel this hot wind come up. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Phoenix.
I've been to Egypt, and that there really is a
Yeah.
line between where the Nile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can put 1 foot in desert,
Been
1 foot on
Nevada.
elevated land.
Yeah. It's
Hell, last weekend it was like 115 here.
yeah.
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 Or, yeah,
It's
a week and a half ago.
This is like being in an oven, and it literally sometimes I've been out in Phoenix where like you'll see rain coming in and it doesn't hit the ground. It gets a little bit more humid and it evaporates before it hits the ground. And that's what you seem to find here. Yeah, no fun. But oh gosh. Looking out into the arid mountains in front of you, see the occasional like flash of lightning, like static discharge almost above the peaks. And it looks pretty nasty. Is anybody keeping an eye out, or think their character would be keeping an eye out just to see, worry about what's going on?
I think we're all just about to say saddle to keep it at night.
Well, this is during the day. This is in the
Yeah.
morning. You could get it coming, like waking up to the rain.
I don't know. I guess
Probably because
I probably would get bored playing don't know
the
how good
other time when we
like can't
had
see
to
the ground
go
and shit.
Yeah.
on the sky ship?
Okay. All three of you make
Probably be
perception
a little
checks.
I would gather rain.
I mean, there's awnings and things you can kind of hide out behind, but it's up to you. See, what'd you get?
18.
What are we
18
doing?
perception check. Word.
Entertaining.
All right. Let's see.
16?
16. And you had 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Roland, you spotted first. A strange glow under the clouds, the dark clouds that are spitting out lightning every once in a while, a ways off into the mountains. And you know that there's another day and more than a day and a half of travel left before you get to even the outskirts of where you need to be. It's this odd purplish on the underside of the clouds in the midst of one of the valleys of the mountains. And you're headed pretty close, not exactly on the line, but towards it.
Is the Commodore? Oh, I don't know what you say. Sorry. I was going to call the Commodore.
No, but it's only slightly after that you see Roland kind of look off in the direction, furrowed brow, Crom, and you look over and see the same thing. Yeah, it just strikes you as
Weird.
odd and weird.
And
odd
we're headed
glow.
towards it.
You're headed roughly towards it. Not, it's a little bit off to your west. And you're headed almost due south. I mean, there's not much you could do. I mean, you could mention it to the Commodore. That's up to you.
I'll mention it. So.
Given this information, he looks over and says, it is strange, isn't it? I'm not sure what to do with that, though. It just kind of starts, just moves a couple degrees on the
Yeah.
helm and just a little bit away from it.
Okay.
We have to stick to the course. We can't deviate much. You have to understand there are outposts and things we're trying to thread. So we're having to go through some even more wild and uncharted territories.
Have you done this before?
No, actually I haven't. It'd be that kind of, say, I'm going by the charts.
Can I? Oh, it'd be kind of hard to high five them.
I mean, you can.
I'm gonna high five them.
So you just put up your hand for a high five.
For the fact that none of us know what's going on, apparently.
It just kind of goes like this. All right. Yeah. Throughout the rest of the day, occasionally you'll see the same rain kind of darker clouds come over and seem to try to fall. You never feel a drop of rain either. It's as the day grows on, even though it's overcast, it somehow grows hotter and hotter throughout. Baking hot. Occasionally the sun coming through the clouds.
That's what I say. I think my Tuatara is probably just laying out on the deck,
Like a hot
just
rock. Yeah.
Man, yeah, it's great.
But at least you're not getting wet anymore, Lysander. Sure, you're not being rained on. Yes.
Is there a size limit to what I can tie to the ring?
I mean, it's anything.
And is it limited to just inanimate objects?
It is limited to objects, like items.
Okay.
It can be magic items or mundane items.
Yeah.
The size limit is anything you can carry on your person. It has to be in your inventory. It can't
Okay.
just be anything. But
Well, that means you're not tying Crom.
it can be.
No, I was going to tie the boat.
No, you can't do that.
Steal the boat.
And it has to be able to fit in your inventory. So that's kind of the size limit. It could be something fairly large.
First,
I have a bag of
shrink the
holding.
boat.
We could put the boat in the bag of holding.
You can't fit
We
a boat
can't
in a
fit
bag
a
of
boat.
holding. It's by
Never-
the maybe.
I've
You
been,
have to shrink.
Just take it apart and put it plank by plank into the bag of holding.
Anyway, so I know for sure two items that I'm linking are my shield to my left arm and my axe to my right hand.
just No.
And is there a
No,
range
whatever.
limit? It doesn't say.
There isn't. That is the thing.
So I can throw
Like I
this-
said, it's like Thor. Like
Okay.
somebody could, you could let somebody confiscate something and then just put your hand out, and it will.
Hypothetically speaking,
Yes.
if I told somebody to hold my axe and then got behind them and called my axe,
It would be a weapon attack.
okay. Perfect. That's all I need to know.
I don't know that you would be able to add your own strength modifier and stuff. Like it would just be a straight up D20 roll and a straight up whatever the axe's damage is.
Fine with me.
But yeah. All right.
I just got to figure out a third item. That's no clue.
So, the Commodore, you got your stuff. We're starting to worry about a glow. Occasionally, looking out, those of you who are watching out, you catch glimpses of movement. At one point, Crop, I'd say, looking out as Roland has been kind of worried, continue to watch that glow. Off the other side, you notice something large crawl under a rock overhang at one point, kind of a scaly tail that kind of whips back in. It was pretty large, whatever it was. You're not sure what it was exactly, but you see, though, also, like, both of you see different, like, herds of these goat-looking, almost, animals, but as, like, you come up close to some of the mountains and you're getting closer, you know, you're gaining some altitude, but you're still in some of the valleys here, trying to stay below the peaks. And as you get closer to some of them, you realize that there are these, like, kind of bloodshot-eyed goat creatures with these razor-sharp-looking fangs coming down. Like, these aren't, because, like, nothing grows here. They can't graze. So these are goats that have kind of evolved to eat other animals. But they're like bighorn sheep. They're like, and they're just on the side of these cliffs that look unscalable, and they're just kind of scrambling up. It is. I mean, it's in a lot of ways a barren wasteland. You weren't quite sure what to expect. Gundar, you've heard about these mountains, and you've been aware that most Hobgoblin society is on the coasts and is a fishing society. Like they eat seaweed, they eat fish. They like that's where their bounty comes from. It's not from the interior here. There are mines, however, you're aware of that are in the interior. That the mountains here in the Bansfall Peninsula are full of all kinds of gems and metals, precious and useful. As well as occasionally like things, arcane items from other ages are found.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Right. The day goes on. Could somebody make one more perception check for me?
You do it.
What'd you get?
A 5 plus 7.
Plus 7?
Yeah.
12.
Well,
Okay.
that's what it is.
So, looking out, you know, you keep hearing this odd drone noise almost that comes and then just for a little bit and then goes and then might come back a little stronger. You know, it waxes and wanes a little bit. And every time you try to look for what is making it, just overcast clouds. You realize at some point, though, that you're getting to the point in the mountains where you've noticed the purple glow is much nearer. And now it's off almost, it's not quite due west yet. You haven't quite, but you're drawing like parallel with it as it enters kind of southward. And it's maybe 10 miles off. So you didn't hit it, but there seems to be something in a valley over one of the ridges near you that is just still glowing up on the mountains, or up on the clouds. You're looking at this one, you see something cross your field of vision. And at the same time you hear this kind of, and you realize it looks almost like a little fly.
Is it a drone?
Like it looks like a fly kind of going like this, but kind of slowly in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes you a minute to realize that it's not as close as a fly would be to be this size. It's a ways out. And it gets closer and nearer, and you realize this thing, as it draws nearer, you kind of get some more sense of scale, and it's like an insect, but about softball size.
Oh,
Like just a globe of flesh, almost
Ew.
looking, with kind of this jagged mouth in it.
I'm gonna look at you, or you're gonna say,
And these like fly-like wings that are just like off to the side, and it seems to be growing closer.
shoot it.
I'm gonna, well,
Shoot with your arrow.
I could use my flaming arrow. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Alright. Sorry, I got my stuff all over the place. Alright. So,
Fuck away.
with my blazing long,
Samba.
23.
That'll hit it.
Alright. 28. I can't do a sneak attack. Alright. 7 damage.
7 damage.
Yeah.
All right. As you hit it with your
Make sure there's no spider.
yeah, watch it. You never know.
Take it off.
As you hit it, it just almost seems to pop in midair, and you see a few kind of chunks of it that kind of end up falling out downward.
Did anybody else see this?
I mean, as you kind of pointed it out, and Prom saw it as well, several other people kind of came to the side to see what was happening and saw it happen. As it explodes, you all start to hear another buzzing. And then a little bit more as you see 3 or 4 other of these entities kind of
I'm not
flying
gonna use
towards
my blazing. I'm not gonna use all my arrow shots right now. I'll just do one with a normal long bow. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my normal long bow, the blazing arrows, and shoot them.
Okay, go for it.
All right. 23 for the first to hit,
You looking for where we're at?
and the damage did that hit?
Be down there.
That's where we're going.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
23 hit.
23, yeah.
All right, so
It's hard not to hit.
yeah,
This is where we're
9
at.
damage.
9 damage. All right, and that takes that one out.
Yeah, that's the
You can
Iron
just
Colony
start.
City.
That's what I'm
going
doing.
through these,
I
yeah.
believe we were crossing.
Oh.
from
You don't even have to roll
Jungle.
damage.
Oh,
They're
alright.
not very. Yeah, it's
Well,
we
I
should
don't
be
know,
somewhere
13
around
to
here.
hit,
that'll hit. These are not hard to hit.
and 17 to hit.
17 to hit. Yeah, that hits too. So you're able to pick those out, but as you do, you start hearing more buzzes come from now below, and you see more coming from, into focus as they come from the mountains nearby.
So
You are all see as now it looks like dozens of these things are.
I'm just gonna keep whipping my
Flying at
arrows at them.
Come on.
Anybody else doing anything
Yeah,
right now?
I guess I'm.
Maybe you just feel like a dozen.
Dozens.
Oh.
As that you can see right now, and you hear more and more of this droning buzz.
Yeah, I'll come
Sorry,
up there
come
and
through.
see what's going on.
Should somebody alert the rest of the people?
I mean, people have been alerted. Some of them
Okay.
were watching, and now some of them are starting to mutter amongst themselves as like,
Are they mad at us for?
what's going on?
I mean, they were coming at us, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
mean-
I'm sort of thinking actually they did have big mouths with teeth in them, right?
I mean, what you could see, like one got within about 50 feet of the
Mhm.
ship, and you saw that like it was about this big, with like these insect kind of wings, and
Yeah.
that were kind of fluttering pretty fast, and this like jagged mouth that looks like it might have been teeth. It's hard to tell.
Because I'm sort of wondering if I'm suddenly like attacking a ladybird type thing, or if we just all just go below. They do look ominous, right?
It's not a ladybug type thing. But as you're watching and trying to pick off more of these, the rest of you are trying to wonder what happened. You hear a startled yelp from the other side, and looking over, one of the Taldori army soldiers is frantically batting at their shoulder near the far rail of the ship.
Yeah.
And as you're watching, almost goes over the side, but does not. But is being batted, is batting, and as they turn around, you see there are two of these things that are just latched on to their back.
I'm thinking, my bow and arrow, I may be doing well, but probably not going to take out all hordes and hordes of villains.
I got
with bow and
nothing.
arrow.
Magic missile.
Well, and as you're watching this, you see several other ones come up kind of over the side, and then a few more, and suddenly they just seem to be everywhere.
What about your
Better
arm?
than-
What about your arm? Don't you have like flame throwing abilities in your arm?
No, I have a crossbow.
Across.
Ah, that's
I mean, they're coming over onto the deck at this point, like flying around. So you can just start hitting
Go.
stuff.
Yeah.
Bunch of them.
There's a ton of them. Yeah.
I mean, I could
Channel Divinity, Dreadful Aspect, standing in the middle of the
Part of that.
about 60 feet. So it should just about cover the whole deck.
If you stand in the center, it'll cover most. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the main
most of
mast.
it. Yeah. You standing at the main mast and concentrating. You channel divinity, and that means they have to wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, 16.
They're not going to get it. They don't have that. So as you channel, it's almost like a globe of these. They all kind of start avoiding that area. Everybody else kind of comes over to you, beating off the last few that are attached and things, and watching them go back and forth. You realize they weren't only trying to attack the people. They're also, some of them are like latching onto the ship in different ways.
Oh no.
And as you watch, a couple, and then more than a couple, start like just latching on to the brimstone crystals.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh,
Fucking
man.
brim.
I'm gonna shoot the
And just
ones
start-
that are attached to the ship or attached to the crystal.
That won't hurt the crystal or the ship.
Well, I'm gonna
Ton of
target them
those.
with magic missiles.
Okay.
I mean,
I guess, yeah, if y'all can pick off the ones going after the crystals, just stay next to me.
I'm focusing on the ones
Because
that
they
are.
can't come to
I'll
us
get next to
anymore.
you too.
Yeah, they can't come within 60
Although
feet
I'm
of us now.
thinking, yeah, my rapier might be better than
But you'd have to.
I'd have to go away
60
from you.
feet.
You have to go,
Yeah.
and the crystals, they're not like on the deck, they're suspended like about 6 feet out from the rail
Yeah.
on kind of the corners.
And I must admit, I don't really want to be eaten by one of these things.
I mean, really, I could move front or back to kind of include 2 of the crystals at least.
Yeah.
And that'll push to protect 2 crystals if y'all can handle the other
Yeah.
2.
Mm-hmm.
I'll you said I could
Well, I mean, if we're not in initiative order, I'm just gonna start firing off cantrips like firebolt
Mhm.
that I can shoot 240 feet. So I'm just gonna like firebolt at will, just everything that I can see,
Yeah,
focusing on the ones that are on the crystals.
so we're going to do this in rounds. You're going to be firing off firebolt.
you said I could just like swing my vindicator around.
I mean, you can. The center of the ship now is being kept clear by the dreadful aspect. So,
Well, it's kind of offset a little bit because I
Yeah.
moved enough to. I'll say I moved to the front of the ship
yeah.
to encompass the 2 crystals.
Yeah.
So like, however much of the main deck is left after I move, just to encompass them.
Okay.
So I'll be just. I don't need to be in this aura. Like I have enough
Yep.
points.
Okay. So you're going back, which is good because as you move up to the front and have your aura kind of protect those 2, they start to. But the ones that fly off end up going towards the back, and at this point, they also start attacking the helm. There's something about these that it's almost like they're not very smart in and of themselves, but they're moving as a group, like as a swarm, and you can see like now that there's a lot of them, they're moving in like
You realize there's something
Like
flying
this.
around you as you describe this?
yeah, it's one of them. That's but just moving like this, and as they do, they kind of conglomerate, and then there's more coming in from the sides, and more, and now there's seems like there's hundreds.
Fucking.
And as you're going back there, and trying to swing across, like you can easily hit these things, and you're killing. At this point, I don't know, a handful with every swing, but there's so many. They just kind of, as a large swarm, rear up and fireball, just into the left. Into the rear starboard, crystal, and as they do,
Those crystals are pretty hardy.
yes, and they are slamming into it. As they do, you see it starts to move in its mooring. The crystal itself doesn't crack, but as they just keep hitting it from one direction, you suddenly see the crystal kind of floats off, like comes out and floats off in back of the,
Boomerang that.
and the whole ship just goes.
You should have boomeranged the ship.
How was I supposed to know?
I'm joking.
But you couldn't boomerang the ship.
At this point, several of the Taldori army soldiers start charging back to where you are, and they're going to try to defend the other crystal at the back.
Yeah. We get some help back here.
Go ahead, roll a d20 for me. Tell me what you get.
Got a 19.
You said we're gonna roll initiative. How's that work?
I mean, this is just like happening at all sides.
Free-for-all.
Yeah, just kind of a free for all. And there's so many of these things that it just, yeah.
I got 19.
Okay. Okay. As you're running back there and you're swinging across with your huge sword, and between that and Chomp with his firebolts are able to keep them off for a few minutes here. The Taldori soldiers, one by one, are taken out by groups of these things. Just first one you see is just overwhelmed and over the side. You don't even sure where he lands. Another just is so swarmed you don't see him for a minute, and when these things go away, he's gone. They
Is
devour
there
him.
no other spells we can do besides cantrips?
Could I do an investigation or perception check looking for what could be possibly controlling these, or
Yeah.
which one?
You can do a nature check or an investigation check, or perception.
I don't really want to know
Spell
about
magic?
them.
Yeah.
I want to see. I'm trying to scan to see if there's.
So that would be a perception check.
Okay.
Guess I'm gonna go up to the
Because you were in
take the
throes,
other
right?
area and use. Well,
Yeah, but I mean, you could be
Well-
down by now.
I mean, I don't know. It depends. What, like I said, I wouldn't have been up there if the weather was shitty.
I mean, it wasn't. It was the rain and stuff.
19.
19. You can see kind of looking around as you're at the front of the ship, just looking over. You can see almost like a stream of these coming up from a place in the valley you're kind of floating through right now. Like a small overhang of rock that might hide a cave or something like that.
How far is the helm that's getting attacked or whatever?
Most people now are in the front half of the ship, defending those two. The back half of the ship.
Yeah, how far?
Oh gosh, it's like the aura is now going. It's about another 50 feet from the mid-mast, maybe a little more, 60 feet.
Well, I guess I'm gonna get down. Get down and then. You know, within 30 feet.
I'm
Tell
doing
the
all I
captain-
can.
Somebody tell the captain.
I mean,
And-
everybody's involved at this point.
Yeah,
like,
so the
'cause it's
captain's
crazy.
aware. Like, could he like steer
He's
us higher? or
along with you.
something?
Most of the crew has gone to where Gundar is because he's keeping them off. But
Okay.
yeah, between you and the brave sacrifice of the Taldori army soldiers, they haven't gotten the second rear yet.
I'm gonna go back and help her. And in one hand I have my rapier, and in the other hand I have my whip. Slash it away.
Is there anything, is there any way I could get down quick?
I mean, you're fast enough, and there's a rope ladder going up here, so you're able to. It's not like it's. So you're able to get down fairly quickly. This is all a matter of like a minute or so.
Then I'm using spear,
Okay.
30-foot like cone kind of thing.
If you run up to the back of the ship and do that, you could definitely defend that crystal for the moment being. How long does that last? How long does the divine
1
aspect
minute.
last?
1 minute.
Jeff wants to. Okay. At this point, so you go back and cast that, and it does clear any of them off in the kind of that area of that one crystal. About this time, you know that dreadful aspect is coming to a close. I don't know if you can do it again or how many times you can. So you're gonna have to figure out what to do.
Are we getting swarms too? Or is it just the Taldorian soldiers who
The Saldor shoulders left the bubble of protection. That's why
Yeah,
that's why
like,
you are getting like
Yeah.
I was
but
just
you
wondering-
rolled high enough that you're not getting hit. That's why.
Yeah. I just kind of wondered if they were not targeting us. Does that mean that it's some like divine thing to get that they're only not killing us, but
They're trying to destroy our ship.
I know, but what I'm
So-
wondering is if it's like something the bad
And roll
the Yellow
against one
King
for
is
me in the
doing or something to get
Yeah.
us.
Something like
Well,
that.
I mean, they're trying to attack you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're,
It's 3.
they're,
Imagine that.
seems like they're being.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if we were like, even though we're on a ship that's in
Maybe.
trouble.
All right. Take 18 slashing damage. As you are able to keep them off, but as the cone is, some of them circle back around and start just going after you.
I can't keep them off me.
I mean, it's a cone. Like they can't approach you, but the
That
cone
does
has to come out of you in some way, which means another way. It's just like a
Yeah, I
little
don't
beholder.
I figured. It's up to you, but
No, where were we? Where were
I
we
can
thinking?
turn in any direction.
That's true. Well, I mean, some of them are
That's
still.
literally what I was gonna do. If the front helm starts, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start running towards the front, running towards the back, running towards the front.
And I mean, you can
Get away!
So you can keep them off you with that, let's say. But at the same time, every time the cone is not on, they start. once
Yeah,
again
well, they have.
swarming.
Well, I don't know how you want to do it because they're supposed to be taking saving throws. Get out your dice.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna do that.
But yeah,
All your D20s.
they're supposed to run away from me and all that stuff. So, but basically, while they're coming back towards the thing,
I know that we were sort of flying over the.
and if I could stand in the middle, it'd be like a lighthouse of fear.
Yeah.
And it's well, somewhat to up to 30 foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which if you're in the middle, so you can stand on the middle of the rear deck here and kind of do something like that. And it's not so much that the same ones are circling back around, but there's just more coming every time. And you're able to fear the ones getting near you, but every time it's not on the crystal, some of the new ones are hitting it. Yeah.
Doing what I
it's-
can.
But you are keeping more of them off, for sure.
I know that we were kind of flying over the forest, but we're on a peninsula. How close to the ocean are we?
It's a large peninsula. You're not close to the ocean here.
So we're kind of just in the middle.
Yeah, you're just
Valley
over
of-
this desert valley of stone. Yeah. What are you doing?
Well, I was going to try and get us over a body of water. We are in the ship.
It's true.
I mean,
Yeah, there's a few rivers, no lakes that you know of, but a few rivers that flow through here. You haven't seen one recently, I'd say. As
I guess try and convince the Commodore to start taking us lower. Because if we lose any more crystals, we're going to take a long walk off a short pier.
probably, I mean, and the Commodore has both out and is like running up, trying to get back to the
I mean, I'll follow him.
The
I'll stick
helm.
with him.
helm as yeah. And right as you're going out, like it's been a
But now
minute,
your
and
aura is.
the
not-
aura just kind of
Yeah.
dissipates.
That's why I'm staying with him. I'm going to try and protect him.
As you're trying to protect him and he gets back to the partially damaged helm, he starts trying to bring the ship down to at least land. You're a few hundred, like 300-400 feet in the air still. And as he starts to bring it down, as you've left the front, Chomp's trying to do as much as he can with firebolts, but more and more of them are just attacking the crystals at the front now. First, the left side suddenly comes out, and the whole ship is just like, they're on opposite sides. So, like back and front, and so the whole thing is just kind of teetering. Yeah, everybody, just give me a d20 roll. What you get? Everybody. 15?
17.
17? 13?
13.
13.
It's just a regular roll.
It's just a roll. Because there's so much that can be done, and you all are doing a whole bunch right now. It's just kind of how well is it actually going. Yeah, that'll bring you down. You're a good. You come down from about 400 feet. You're crossing into like the 250 range. So you bought yourself some time. When that front crystal just gives way. You weren't as high as you could be. And the whole ship suddenly, the front lurches and the back kind of comes up. And you start descending faster. Not totally out of control, but mostly out of control. And not totally plummeting, because you still have one crystal up, but just kind of twirling as it goes down like a leaf almost. Could everybody make some kind of saving throw? A dexterity saving throw. As the tilt of the deck just goes almost vertical. What?
Roll 1.
Aren't you the amazing saving throw person?
Not for dexterity.
Okay, sorry.
I'm in plate armor, man.
That's true. Roll the
Bye,
one.
guys.
And
18.
13.
It's not the fall that kills you. It's the sudden stop at the end.
What are we doing this for?
To try to hold on and not fly off the ship.
Wow.
Because the ship is going slower, even in its descent, than you would just flying down to the, or just, plummeting down to the ground.
Oh shit. Never mind. I'm better than that. 17.
I think they're just attracted to the crystals.
Yeah. But I was just kind of wondering about it. We were getting spared by this.
I don't
Or
know.
being sucked dry by these critters.
All I know is I'm probably about to take a long
Yeah.
fall.
Probably are.
Bye, guys.
I was gonna ask about you using acrobatics.
I'll see y'all on the ground.
I mean, yeah, as you're in this last bit, if there's anything you want to try to do to save yourself from.
I mean, I've got an axe and a shield,
Yeah.
and I'm in plate armor, and
Yeah.
I just critically failed.
Yeah.
I don't think that, realistically, I don't think there's anything I can do. Honestly.
I don't know.
Like, I'm
Okay. The
disoriented.
wizard.
I'm losing track of exactly where I'm facing.
Yeah.
It may not be spinning, 50 miles an hour in a round, but I'm still, like, I got a lot of crap against me right now.
The
Okay.
wizard is.
I want to cast Fly on everybody.
Can you do that?
The range is touch, so I don't fully understand how.
Never mind.
We gotta do a group hug.
I don't understand how it's touch, but I can target more than one creature if I cast it at a higher level.
His touch. I mean,
Well, it takes an
Teleport
action,
us
so
to
as
the
long as I
ground?
can touch everybody within 6 seconds.
yeah,
Up or-
basically.
Because it's an action.
Ooh, that's a hard one. I mean, you would have all been in a similar area of the deck,
I'm
but
at
the
the
deck
helm.
is now. Well, and everybody had been kind of rushing up that way.
Also, if the first target is myself, at that point I have a flying speed of 60 feet. I don't know if I could
Yeah, the whole Iron Man thing.
and then start flying around and touching as many of my friends.
Could
Catch
you, what
me.
is teleport? Is teleport like? Do you have to? You don't have to.
That would
touch
be my
people.
action, though.
Tell you what, make an acrobatics
You
check.
can teleport all.
Because you are on the deck of a ship
The ground?
that's almost vertical, spinning with
Yeah.
stuff flying everywhere. Make an acrobatics check to see if you could bounce off things within 6 seconds to get everybody. And give me an order because getting everybody
I could prepare it as a bonus action. I don't know how teleport works.
Getting
Save yourself.
everybody will be getting everybody will be a higher DC than getting just one. So
Acrobatics?
what's the order you want to give people?
Well, I mean, I guess it'll just be
How
my.
much time do we got to get in the ground?
You have
Quickly running out.
quickly running it. You
Well,
have because it's not you're not plummeting. You're about 250 feet in the air. You have maybe 8 seconds before you hit the ground.
Just enough time. I cast fly on myself, and then I start with the nearest people, which I'm assuming is going to be like, you ran over.
I guarantee I'm the furthest.
I was in the middle, somewhere in there. But
So my acrobatics check was 19, and I'm going to go after Prom first.
Okay.
anybody make any
Yeah, you
kind
can
of
do that. Who else are you going to go after
attempts
next?
to increase their chance of survival?
I mean, anything you can think of in these last few seconds.
Yeah,
Time
I mean,
has slowed down.
Acrobatic.
Happening
Put
in
you on.
the same- in
Put
the
you on.
same-
Sit. I saw it.
Parkour.
I saw it on Black Widow. They just went all over the place. They were.
It's like when you're in an elevator that's falling. If you just jump right before it
That's what I'm
hits.
saying. I'm like, I see him flying, and I'm like,
So I guess
You're
I'm
like-
going to go
hey.
Crom and
I don't
Roland.
know if you've ever been in a car accident, but it's
I
time
think
for them
they're
to slow
the
down.
first.
That's what we're doing.
Oh, I'm gonna be squishy after this.
Yeah, but your plate mail will be intact. You'll just be
I'll be
goo
squishy.
inside of plate mail.
I'm gonna uncanny dodge the ground.
This is- honestly, I'm screwed.
I mean, there's only so
We
much
can
fall damage
rebuild
you can
you.
take.
Whatever happened to the middle child?
But you gotta.
Oh, the middle child's with you.
I guess terminal velocity.
Just
Yeah.
kind of sitting here on the
Yeah.
deck, just like as everything around him's like.
Like middle child has a jetpack? What?
No, he does not. He's gonna take damage.
Yeah. So I guess Crom, then Roland, then Lysander, and I got 4 additional targets. So that's enough to get everybody. If I use my 7th level spell slot.
If you're using it, you had a 19. Yes. It's. Oh. You can get everybody but one. Who were you sacrificing?
The middle child.
Sacrifice me. Just do it.
Oh,
And that does include the middle child.
Was
Oh, middle.
Well, no, that doesn't include the middle child. We're including the middle child. That would be everybody but 2.
2. Yeah.
So
So,
if you're leaving out the
I'm,
middle child, you can.
I'm leaving out the middle child. Just constructs, what are you gonna do?
We can repair him.
And
Yeah, better than before. I just feel like I'm Jack Sparrow in the first movie where he's just hanging on to the mast and it's just sinking. He's like,
All right, so we're getting Crom.
yeah, I mean, I guess I'm sacrificing Gundar.
Okay.
He's got the most armor, the most hit points.
honestly, and I'm the furthest away. I mean,
Yeah.
and not only am I further away, but the helm is upstairs of the deck. So I mean,
Simone. Oh well.
well,
I don't have time, but I think it'd be funny to cast common motion on everybody falling because they're dead.
Oh, yeah.
No big deal.
You can totally do that.
All right, I'll do that.
I'm gonna put my shield underneath my feet. I'm gonna hold my hands up
Okay.
and I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna air surf all the way down.
Legolas style. Okay. Just flap really fast.
No, I mean I'm using my ring to pull it to my hand, and I'm standing on it.
You should get
Tell you
points
what.
for creativity.
Wait.
What
Take away
is
one.
Legolas?
What is happening?
I'm using my boomerang
I mean,
to pull my shield up while I'm standing on it.
So
So-
this is the elevator thing.
I'm not trying anything.
it's a small
it was a little bit.
I'm trying anything at this point. I'm about to go splat.
So as time has slowed down, you see Chomp suddenly just launch like flying and hit
Super
tap Crom on the shoulder and then tap Center on the shoulder and tap Roland on the shoulder, and he like pushes off and stretches out towards you. And at that point, at that moment, like the rotation of the ship, just like part of the part of the deck just clips him and just like he just kind of goes tumbling. It just misses you, and you're like, oh.
You have this on
Oh well, I guess then.
on mine, so I was gonna draw my rope out and throw it, if I
No,
could,
you
throw it
can't
towards
fly.
Gundar to grab on.
No, I was thinking as as
Make
it
it everyone
spins,
super
I miss
Oh,
Gundar.
wait,
It's, but
Yeah, on second thought I put the rope
does
back.
some random crew member get the last target of my fly spell?
Sorry.
Like
Yeah.
like
But hey, I'm not
I
very
randomly hit somebody else.
Too realistic.
Yeah, no,
I'm
the
in
rope,
plate armor.
the
You
rope
get
was
kind
a
of
bad idea.
off to the side. It kind of,
I'm traveling at terminal velocity.
Yeah,
I weigh almost 300 pounds. I'm in plate armor.
I'm not
I'm
throwing
about
the
to be
rope.
soup.
Now, technically, they have to do a saving throw for oceans. I know it's still
in any case, yeah.
new pals.
So, tumbling down from 200 feet would be 20d6. You're on the ship, which still has one functioning crystal, which is not going as fast. So it's not quite terminal velocity. You're going to take a d6 minus 1d6 for suddenly jumping off at the last second and putting your shield and then calling it back to you, which gives you a little bit of upward momentum. But still, as you do, your feet come down on the shield and you kind of tumble forward.
But now that I think about it, doing that,
Yes.
wouldn't that kind of disengage me from the ship?
I mean, a little bit, but you're still. It's just at the last minute, so it's not going to give you that much.
No, I'm saying like wouldn't I kind of be falling faster than the ship now because I'm not
Is there an
on it?
upper limit on fall damage?
20d6.
Yeah, it maxes out at something.
It's still weird.
I mean, because I'm guessing you're doing it. Are you doing it the last second, or?
No, this would have been like a. When you asked me what could I
Oh
do,
gosh, in that
like-
case.
like that would probably be my gut instinct is like I'm gonna try anything.
Thank you for being honest.
I mean I'm gonna be fair about it. I mean, I did roll a critical failure, so it is what it is.
And just be happy to be
He
one
did?
with the.
I don't know yet. 20d6 is about to smack me.
19, actually.
19 because of creativity with my shield, which wound up screwing
I'm
me.
gonna
in the
laugh
armor.
at that. That you would die. I mean, you would have taken less if you had done that, yeah.
But I wouldn't know that. I mean, this
Yeah.
is my Hail Mary. Like either it works or it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
We have.
Scroll.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. Because I was about to say I'm the only one that has that spell.
In the meantime, this last second, as things are going to crap, and Crom, you feel your body
Oh.
suddenly, well, because you were,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you all, the three of you, all four of you feel, the boat kind of keeps going down, and you hear in your ear a little chime go, ding. Thank you for updating your contract file with the Slayer's Take. We look forward to hearing more about the Red Dragon. We care about our guild members, and so please remember to check in with us from time to time. Have a great day. And at that moment, the ship crashes beneath you. Remember you had that call from the Slayer's Take last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, about the Red Dragon contract.
Yeah.
Getting back to you.
Okay. Yeah. I did read the message.
I honestly don't think 20d6 can even kill me. Because 20 times, if you max roll on all 20, that's only 120 damage. I still have 24 health.
There you
Oh,
go.
good,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I am hurt. At least I'm not dead.
71 damage as you hit the bottom. and just along with like right next to the ship.
All you.
I'm bloody. That's more than half my health.
So even though
And you know what's going to happen.
Take
The scent of the blood is going to attract the razor to your goats.
Oh, and I'm probably like disoriented or some
that,
kind of status effect. 'Cause
Yeah. So you will survive filling out and the razor tooth
The
goats will
land
take you out.
that
Probably.
skydiver guy.
but
And my armor's probably screwed.
I mean, you definitely need to get it repaired. It's like parts of straps are broken and it's dented and like, yeah. You all come down, like flying down,
I thought about it, like 26.
Gundar-
Max 120. I'll still survive. But
coming up like just on one arm and then the other just. You see around you the scattered remains of the Diana. You see some parts of crew around the area. Don't see the Commodore immediately or hear anything except for buzzing overhead. And then a few of whatever these things are come down, and you can see that the glow of the broomstone has kind of faded mostly as the arcane engine has been destroyed. And they kind of tap it a few times and then fly off. The last few of them.
what the fuck?
as quick as I can,
Yes.
I start searching for the Commodore.
Make a investigation check real quick.
This is your inspiration to create, invent, parachute.
Yeah.
I just had an idea.
21.
21.
What's fine.
It doesn't take long before just under a you see a hand grasping on what's left of the helm wheel, just sticking out from beneath a piece of shattered decking, and moving it back, you find the Commodore.
Is he dead or alive?
He's dead.
Revivify.
How long after you were able to find him pretty?
Sucks to be the red shirt.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about the
You were
red
able to
shirt.
find him pretty quick. It's within the last minute, right?
Revivify. I believe it's 1 minute.
Yeah, within the last minute.
I mean, double check.
And you have 300 gold pieces worth of diamonds.
Yeah, I carry all that stuff with me.
Okay.
I keep regents on me all the time.
As long as you have that,
Does it consume the diamond?
it does consume the
It does.
diamonds.
So
No.
you keep enough for like.
I keep like 2 to 3 because I got plenty of gold. So I still got.
Okay.
Because I have 3 slots, I keep enough for all 3 slots.
You put your hand out, diamonds in your hand, and concentrate for a second, and the rest of you see the diamonds kind of go up in sparks and smoke as Commodore returns to life at 1 hit point, looking like got a broken arm. Definitely one of the eyes on the right side has been just
So
it just has
It's like hanging out.
He's gonna have
yeah,
some
it just
funky
like has a
ideas.
piece of like a large splinter in it, and it's just like
Ew.
it's like blood comes out when he coughs. So yeah, he's alive. At this moment, as the rest of you land and you gather around.
I give him a couple hit points.
Okay,
From
so he
landing,
looks
so
like
he's not
like-
pure dead.
splinter comes out. See now,
Like after this huge like Hindenburg-esque
Yeah.
crash and just like stuff everywhere, and the 4 of us like slowly like
I'm Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
y'all.
land really softly down on our feet.
Nice of you to join us.
And as you say that, you hear a clearing of the throat. And just looking up around, you see figures, heads wrapped, faces covered with head wrappings and scarves.
Fucking Tuscan Raiders.
I told you it was.
I mean, more or less. Not masked. See humanoid eyes behind. That's what we're gonna do.
Are they are standing around us?
Standing like
Commodore now owes me a life debt.
like dozens of them standing around, armed.
That's 2 now.
Different
Minotaur.
spears.
I know that-
Minotaur and a giant shark.
things
I'm
like
building an army.
Yeah, embarrassed, Joe.
Yeah. That hurts. I'm glad I had enough help. I had a backup planned in case Gunbar goes down,
It's always
but I would have been bummed too. But I had to be honest about it. Like,
Yeah.
realistically, I critically failed, and it caught me off guard. There's not a whole lot I can do, and
Yeah.
my only gut instinct of the I could potentially do is Hail Mary shot with this shield, but then that screwed me over because it
Yeah.
pushed me away from the ship. But it happens.
Oh gosh. Thanks, guys.
So yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
the shark now owes me like this.
There you go. That was
You did an amazing job, Tim.
good. I liked it.
If you decide to throw any ships, I guess, free passage everywhere you go.
I am gonna be gone for most of July weekends, but I will try to get back in, and I will try to get back in time, but I won't go until like that.